actually came to this building, the Bullitt House, to meet with Mike Rawl, who was then the director of it. And we met in that office, his office. I was there asking for a grant for the Radcliffe Creek School. And he was new here, and I asked him where he came from, and he said Chester County. And the most successful organization there was the Women and Girls Fund. And I went home and woke up in the middle of the night and thought, Women and Girls Fund. And then started Googling Women and Girls Fund and Women in Philanthropy and thought, we can do this. So got together a group of, I think there were 8 of us originally, from all different, I tried to make it from different parts of my life. One was Meg. We also had Betty Bear, and then a couple other women who had heard about women's funds from a group in Washington State. And so they came to me and said, what do you think about this? I said, well, we're already talking about it. So then they joined forces. So we decided we wanted to do it as an endowed fund so that once we're all gone, it's still going to be here and still going to have an impact. So it's sort of like our legacy.
Times we'll see women and children, so single moms and children. So often the burden of being a single parent without support. And so that's often what we'll see, and a lot of the financial stresses and the stresses of daycare or getting their children to and from school, all the extra things are certainly very, very difficult and often accumulate to a crisis level. And that's often when we see people is when they're in a crisis level. Homeless shelter is open to men, women, and children. So we do allow women and children. And then our Homes of Hope, which is longer term housing assistance program, will also be available for women and children. And then our case management services at our resource center helps anyone with financial assistance and connection to other services in the community. And that definitely is women and children as well. We've been awarded on and off, I would say, for about a decade funding through the Women and Girls Funds. They're a terrific organization, and we really appreciate their support.
Adding to the housing inventory is an important piece of this. Breaking folks out of poverty through the asset of homeownership is a big piece. And of course, helping our families acquire the skills necessary to break out of poverty, and those are mostly financial management kinds of skills. That's the work that was the closest fit with the Women and Girls Fund, because 75% of our family applicants are single moms.
What is so unique about what they're doing is they're enabling women, working moms, the opportunity to not only buy a home, but we all know, as cliche as it is, that knowledge truly is power. So by educating them, giving them first financial literacy to even qualify, but then opportunities to have continued education, and that's what really set them apart in this program, is that continued education. You know, I come from a single mom who raised 4 children, and you know, as I've gotten older, nothing makes me more proud than the work that my mom did to empower not only herself, but her children. And it really does truly, it doesn't stop with them. It really enables the children to be, you know, independent and seek education and seek opportunities, and honestly be incredibly hardworking.
This group's been around for 40 years, the Midshore Council on Family Violence. It's pretty impressive. You were asking me how long we've been supporting them. You know, we've been around for 20 years. And I want to say it was perhaps in 2006 or 7 that we started giving them grants, and various kinds of grants. Some were for emergency client funds, one-time emergencies. Others were for empowerment training. And the last couple of years, and we're finding that this is happening in many organizations, is that food is so important. You know, if you don't have anything in your stomach, then where do you go from there?
Because we have over $1 million in the fund right now, and we've given away almost $800,000. So, when you look at it that way, that's something to be proud of. I think that because of our track record with how we do our granting process, how we vet the organizations, I think that it will be wonderful that we'll be a major donor on the Mid-Shore. I think the sky's the limit there, that, you know, as long as the fund keeps doing what it's doing and being good stewards of the dollars that are given, and direct those funds to the organizations that are making a difference, I see it just blossoming. The tagline, the power of pooled resources, and I think we're an example of how that works.